So remember that big D&D set? Whatever your thoughts are on the build itself, I think we can all agree that the minifigures it included are pretty fantastic. So imagine if LEGO made those minifigures even better and didn't lock them behind a $360 paywall. Well, imagine no more, because we're about to take a look at the brand new Dungeons & Dragons Collectible minifigure series. Thank you to LEGO for sending me these early to review. These are once again packed in boxes, but it's my assumption that, like the last few series, you'll be able to identify the contents based on the QR code printed on the bottom. Jay at Jay's Brick Blog always does a great job of documenting that, so be sure to check there for details on the codes before you go hunting for these things. I'm not going to waste too much of your time today pointing out things you can plainly see, but I do want to give you my thoughts on these figures, not really as a D&D player, but very much as an enjoyer of all things LEGO fantasy. As you'll soon see, the potential for creating customs with the parts included in this series is incredible. The Dragonborn Paladin is already proving to be immensely popular. Everyone's talking about the Prince, but did you realize that the four-long bar in blue is brand new? The Golden Dragon head joins 3 other similar heads produced before it, one in red, one in medium blue, and one in green. The mold debuted in video back in 2021. The amount of variety means you could create a pretty awesome Dragonborn army. It goes without saying, but the level of print detail here is incredible as well. The subtle shine of that flat silver plastic and the gold printing just make this one feel special. The figure stands atop a new printed base plate as well. Personally, I don't like when they print these, as it greatly decreases their usefulness in custom builds. You could repurpose this as a narrow alley path in a microscale build perhaps, but beyond that it feels a bit of an unnecessary expense. However, if you intend to just display these or need a stand for your minifigure while actually playing out a campaign, it is a bit classier. Regardless of the stand though, the minifigure itself is perfect. Another figure that really checks all the boxes for me is the Lady of Pain. Wow, what a crazy name. Painful though she might look to step on, she's thankfully got a rubberized helmet piece, saving you a hole in your foot, and it'll be much more durable this way too. Even with the cape covering most of her back, both her torso and dress piece are printed on both sides. What isn't printed though is her face, which is surprisingly just a blank black head. You do get both parts for the cube as extras as well, which is a big plus. The vibrant oranges of this figure really shine, and I think she's the most eye-catching of the bunch. Beautiful minifigure. The half-elf bard also makes great use of the LEGO color palette with that lovely pop of magenta. The prints on this figure feel especially useful for customs. This is also one of the minifigures in the lineup that includes an alternate head for further customization. I absolutely love the singing variants included for both. And that loot print is also new and looks gorgeous. The yellow skin tone of the Githyanki definitely caught me off guard, but once again, those of you interested in parting these figures out will likely find that very useful. This is another character with 2 heads, which is always a treat. The printed legs and torso here are some of my favorites throughout the lineup and will be very versatile. There's also an extra of the new knife piece included in each box. The Dwarf Barbarian's axe is certainly going to be a huge draw for this next minifigure. Even the dark brown bar is quite rare, only being included in 4 Harry Potter brickhead sets as wands up to this point. The torso and printed dual molded arms are quite stylish here too. And yet again, you get an alternate head to use. The Mind Flayer is also another standout minifigure for me in the CMF series. The crazy molded head is pretty hard to miss. There's great printing all around, including the arms, the back, and even beneath the tentacles. On top of that too, you get an Intellect Devourer, a crazy new dual molded creature that fits perfectly onto a minifigure's head. Creepy. As an outsider to D&D, I must confess that Strahd von Zarovich is one of the less interesting figures to me. The prints aren't going to be terribly easy to reuse, but I do like the silver highlights included throughout. My favorite part of the minifigure is honestly his little sidekick, a brand new rat. That's going to be a fantastic addition to all sorts of mocks. I really like the design of Tasha the Witch Queen though. Everything about this figure feels pretty much perfect to me, and it's great to see that hair hat combo return. She's got a new printed book accessory as well, and a new spell tile, which I'm told is Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Her face print seems to match that theory pretty well. I do love me some purple, and the Tiefling Sorcerer definitely brings that. This is another one of the characters that has an alternate head. In addition to the dual molded hairpiece, there's 2 other new elements here, a spell and a brand new baby dragon. I really hope we see this recolored in the future. Surely Ninjaga would go crazy over a part like this. And Chima is back? Well, not quite, but I still hope the Chima fans enjoy this new Aarakocra Ranger. Unless I'm mistaken, this is the first appearance of the fawn legs in white. I especially love the feather detailing here on the back of the head. It makes for a really nice sculpt. The figure also includes a new small dog as a sidekick. It's a tracking puppy in training, I suppose, and he's absolutely adorable. The Halfling Druid gives us yet another surprise animal with a brand new bird design. I've been very surprised with how many useful critters have appeared in this series. The rest of our druid here looks great too, especially that double-sided leaf-shaped cape. This is the last figure in the bunch to also have that alternate head. The hood is dual molded and the antlers are actually flexible. Once again, that should prevent them from chipping off. The last minifigure is another named villain, Zas Tam. Stylistically, there's something different about this guy. There's less fine detailing and more large curved shapes instead in the torso printing. And honestly, I love it. He has a presence about him that the other villains just don't. It's hard to explain. I talk about a lack of fine detail, but also look at this ornamentation on the back of his head. So cool, right? My wife was saying it would make for an awesome pillar detailing if you actually want to incorporate the head into architecture somehow. I thought that was a great idea. I also can't get enough of the classic minifigure skull printed on transparent red. There's very few examples of variations on this classic design. The Sanderson Sisters Cottage did include a light gray version of it for a tombstone, and then there's this really interesting version released in Belleville on trans green. I think this piece is going to be very appealing to older LEGO fans. So there you go. That's a whirlwind tour of the new D&D Collectible Minifigures series. I know there's a lot of these reviews out there, and I know a lot of them have even been out there for a while, so seriously, thanks for clicking and sticking through here to the end. What minifigures are you most excited for? At least one of these guys is going to make my top 10 minifigures of the year list, I think. Tasha the Witch Queen, the Lady of Pain, and the Dragonborn Paladin are definitely my top picks at the moment, but what do you think? Let's talk about it in the comments. Anyway, have yourself a great life, and I'll see you later.